Hi, editing Anna. So I'd like to apologize for like that one beam of light that's hitting my face and that the lighting is a little weird. I was filming at an earlier hour and the sun was really bright, so I like tried to close some of the shutters, but then it just looks weird. But then there's also that one slit of light. Yeah, sorry. So, I'm alive! I didn't post a video last week because honestly I was just tired and I didn't feel like filming or editing or anything. But guys, as of yesterday, I am done with my summer courses! Yes, I'm just so done. So, really happy. Oh yes, this is a Frankenly, my dear. I don't give a pan update. I definitely didn't forget what I was filming. All the information for this project will be in the description because we've been doing this for a few months, and so you probably aren't new here at this point. Anyways, I'm just gonna get straight into the Franken Eye Shadow portion of this. I'm gonna put up a picture of what this looked like last month compared to this month. Hopefully I'll have the pictures up together because I find that's easier to compare and I want to make things more enjoyable for you guys. As you can see in the picture, I did some pan! And I expanded some pan, some pretty significantly, so I'm very happy about that. Now, I think I want to keep the picture up so I can talk about how many uses I have for each eyeshadow before I go talking about the looks I made with each. So for the first one, I used it 4 times, and I think there's slight pan expansion. The second one, I only used once, which was today on my lid. And the third one, I used twice, as well as the fourth one. For the 5th and 6th, I used them both 3 times. The 7th was 4 times. The 8th was 3 times, as was the 9th shade and the 10th shade. I don't know if it's better to see it this way so you can see how deep the dips are and stuff. Also, the other day I realized that I'm stupid. This whole time I've had this paper to cover the mirror so I don't blind you guys. But I just like cut it out and it was laying in there. But it always fell out and I always had to put it back in place every time for over a year. And it just occurred to me the other day that I could have taped it down that whole time. Sorry, that was random. Anyways, back to the actual shades. So this taupe shade, although it's barely darker than my skin tone and it is quite cool toned, I've actually been really enjoying pairing it with this darker brown to blend out my crease shade because I don't know, I haven't been super wanting to wear it on the lid lately. As for this peachy shade, I've only used it once, as I mentioned earlier, and that is today on my eyes. I didn't really reach for warm tones this past month, except for today and like one other day, so yeah, I don't know why it's the middle of summer and I'm like, ooh, grungy, cool tones. That's what I want to do. This pink one, I think you can see there's pretty significant pan expansion and I've mostly used it just to blend out this deeper purple, including today. I have it on the inner portion of my eye look in the crease and it's just super thin in there, so that's why I was able to expand the pan so much. And I don't think there's any visual change in the orange. The dip might be deeper. I feel like I'm getting kind of close to hitting pan, but I don't want to jinx anything. But what I'm really excited about is the green one! I hit pan! I just wasn't expecting to hit pan so quickly, and I think I increased the dip on this purple a bit, and what I'm really excited to share is this taupe shade, which I've been using basically all the time in the crease. I just don't love it as a lid shade. It's a bit deep for my preferences. And also I haven't been super into neutral lid shades lately. I've been actually really liking neutral creases and a pop of color on the lid. I know, revolutionary, but it's what I've been enjoying. And it was very thin all in the center, so expanding the pan right here was very helpful, but like the green, I think expanding the pan from here is going to be difficult because it's quite steep on the sides. I don't know, before I wasn't sure if I should consider this hitting pan on this brown one because it was just like a tiny bit on the top after it crumbled and it was also just thin there, but I feel like now I can consider that pan. Similar with the purple, it's very bumpy and uneven. I don't know, I just repressed it very weirdly. Another exciting thing is that I used this blue so much that I hit pan again. I frankened a tiny bit of what was left in a green shade into here, so it grew in size a tiny bit, but it wasn't super hard to hit pan. Obviously, I think I used it like, yeah, 4 times after I repressed it, and then I hit pan. So it was very thin. Now, in terms of goals for next month, the past few months I haven't really set goals, and I've actually been really enjoying just reaching for whatever I want. I guess I should explain now what I hope for to happen by the end of the year. I don't plan on finishing all these by the end of the year. I know myself, that's not gonna happen. In terms of priority, there are a few shades that I definitely want to finish, and this taupe, as well as this taupe and the blue, all have a Physician's Formula white eyeshadow that I was working on in my Avatar The Last Pan Bender project pan. But it's Franken did all 3 of those shades, so I really want to finish those 3, and they all have pans, so things are looking good for me. But I just want to have that shade out of my inventory, and all that's left remaining of the shade is in those 3 separate Frankens. And I also really want to finish this pink shade, because this, along with the other purpley mid-tone matte in my little Franken trio, has 2 shades that I want to get out of my inventory, and yeah, I have to finish this one and the other one in order to get those 2 out. And this is a really old Franken, like a really old Franken. So yeah, those 4 are my main focus, and as like a secondary focus, I'm hoping to finish both the brown and the purple by the end of the year, because they each have a single number in my singles inventory that's Frankened into them. So yeah, if I don't, I mean, it's not the end of the world, but preferably I finish those 6, and then I'm left with the 2 orangey shades, the green and the purple shimmer. Hopefully I could hit pan on, I mean, I already hit pan on the green, but the ones that I don't finish, I want to hit pan. And so hopefully by the end of the year, I'll just have 4 left in this palette. I figure this has been in my brain for a while, so I should probably just like vocalize it to you, so you know what I'm expecting of myself, you know? Moving on to the other Franken shadows, and they are all in this number 7 trio. I'm gonna put up a picture. So I used the top shade twice, and I used the purple shade in the middle 3 times and the green shade 6 times. So as you can see, I made some significant change in the pans. I definitely expanded the pan on the bottom 2, and again, I think I did increase the dip a bit on the silver. I don't know how well you can tell. The green, I've reached for more than any other shade, interestingly enough. I don't know, I feel like the deep shade is really easy to pair with a bunch of things, because there's no other deep shade I'm working on. Because the brown and that purple that look darker in the other palette, because of the formula, they're really not that dark. I mean, I'm wearing the purple, and I have to build it up a lot, and it's still not that deep. The silver, I actually really enjoyed when I have used it, and the green I used a lot twice. I don't have a picture of it, but I used it as a liner, like a winged liner, and that was what I wore when I was out of state. This purple I use basically just to blend out, or occasionally for a softer look, I would just wear it on its own as the only thing in the crease. But I haven't really used it any other way than in the crease. But it's quite thin in there to begin with. So I have a feeling this will be one to be used up much sooner than the other 2. And speaking of my goals in the sense of using things up, I definitely, again, because this has the same 2 shadows in that pink shade, I want this done by the end of the year. But that's the only priority in this palette, because the green, if I use it up, no numbers will change, because it has the same green as the one in the e.l.f. palette that I just hit pan on, and that one's nowhere close to being done. So even if I finish this, nothing will happen. But I have a feeling I'll finish it well before the end of the year, just because the rate of going and how much was in there to begin with. And the silver isn't a priority. It's I would say it's like a third tier priority after the two deeper satiny shades that I was talking about. Because it has a single eyeshadow. When I use this up, I'll have one less in my inventory, but it's, I don't know, not as much of a priority. Moving on from eyeshadows, I have my Franken Contour, and I used it 14 times in the past month, including today, and I doubt there's gonna be significant visual change because right now I typically use this e.l.f., I think it's a highlighting brush, but I typically just swirl my brush all around, so I'm not focusing on the center. I'm basically making it thin. I don't know how you can see, but I actually have definitely lowered the level a bit, but I don't know. I have a feeling that it'll take a while for me to hit pan, but once I do, the progress will be very quick after that. Like the contour, I also used this brow powder 14 times. Again, that's how many times I wore a full face of makeup. When I went out of state, I didn't bring it with me. I just used a brow gel, even though I have like a bald spot on my brow, because when I'm stressed, I start messing with my brows, and for some reason, like, the brow hairs didn't pull out. They just got short. I don't understand, but my brows like fall out or something when I'm stressed, but just this one, not this one, so they can't even be equally messed up. It's just this one's nice and this one's a wreck. The powder can only do so much to cover it up. But I've definitely expanded the pan because I don't think I had pan last time because I repressed it. The pan was quite big, I repressed it, and now it's quite big again, and it's very thin around the edges. I have a feeling this will be done by next month. Last but not least is my one and only cream product, and it is this cream blush I made, and I used it 12 times, and as you can see by my lines, pretty consistent with previous months. But I have a feeling it'll be 2 more months and this will be gone, but look at that. It's just so short. Although I thought I'd be sick of it by now, I actually still really like it. And that's why I haven't decluttered it, even though it's like a random Franken out of like old lipsticks that I decluttered a while ago. I didn't think it'd be a color I like, but the way it shears out, it just looks pretty. I don't know, and I like the formula, even though it's not like an actual blush formula. So I don't know if I'm gonna miss it when it's gone, but I'll definitely appreciate it until it's gone. So I'm pretty happy with that progress, and hopefully I can get it done within the next 2 months. I'm not gonna dig out the base because I'm just not gonna do that, you know? But that is everything. Make sure to check out the information down below to see everyone else is doing it, even though if you're watching me, you probably are already subscribed or you are aware of the people who are also doing this because I'm always on my channel. But if you're new to the painting community or something, you just happen to fall upon this video, then you know that information is down below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you have an amazing day.